What's up, everyone, and welcome to Tide Talk, the Rhode Island FC podcast that's for the fans, by the fans. I'm your host, Matt, and whether you're a day one sicko or new to RIFC, you found your home. Every episode, we're breaking down the latest from Rhode Island FC, the matches, the moments, the players, and everything happening in and around the club. Before we dive in, make sure you're following Tide Talk across all of our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and everywhere else you scroll. Stay locked in for updates, exclusive contents, and all things Rhode Island FC. You're going to want to be following us this week. We have a pretty cool announcement that'll drop later on this week, so make sure you're following on the socials if you're not already. If you're joining us on YouTube, please say hi in the chat. Make fun of us for being late. It's all good. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, please take a second to leave us a rating and a review, as it helps more people find the podcast, helps us grow, and bring you even better content each and every week. All right, cozy up, crack a bear, and let's dive into this one. Ryan, hopefully baby Healy is asleep and ready to go. How was your Sunday, my friend?
Sunday was good. Apologies, everybody, for being late. I give myself a 0 for that one, but we move on, and very excited to be here to talk about a Derby win.
Chat wants to know, was it from too much wanking? Was your wrist not able to get around the mouse?
Guys, listen, we a lot of practice on that front, so was not an issue on this end.
Yep. New backdrop. I'm currently in the new house right now. I don't know if I'm supposed to be, but I'm in one of like the 3 rooms that have lights. It's a little quieter. It's a little cooler. So hopefully next week I'll actually be in the new and improved Tide Talk Studio 2.0. I'm calling it, but we can get there hopefully by next week. But a little makeshift setup for tonight. Very excited. Figured on a Derby night, why not? And then most importantly, Sarah wants to know, how's the wrist, guys?
Oh, it's still working. Don't you worry.
I know our good friend FQB said, I saw Matt doing some very naughty things on the Jumbotron last night. I can neither confirm or deny that was actually me on there.
I may have video evidence, but continue.
All right. I mean, what a fun time last night was. And I think we'll start with a lot. I think I got there a little bit after 5 and kind of delayed going because it was torrentially downpouring at one point, right around 4:15, 4:30 in my neck of the woods. And we were kind of waiting to see what that was going to look like and break. But boy, once we got there, we even set the tent up. There was no rain until the very end when we decided we were going to go in early anyway to get the gate giveaway, which we'll do a quick segment on in a little bit. But we saw the Hartford bus in their lovely spot. Talking with Matt Jean, apparently Hartford didn't send a staff member with them. They didn't send food. They didn't send drinks. So there was just 20 poor souls sitting on that red bus in the back of M7, which was lovely to see. I heard they got an extra security frisk or bag search too, courtesy of someone we may know. But overall, a very good time in M7 beforehand, and got to see my good friend Ryan there.
No, it was great to be there. I'm just trying to think of that Hartford bus. Like, do you think it is better or worse being like, is it worse being in Hartford or being stuck on a bus in a parking lot with no food or alcohol?
I think it's got to be the latter, just based on last night and seeing how it transpired. Yeah. I just think, they also had to walk back to that too, which was pretty good.
I mean, I gotta say, like, it's hard. Like, you obviously want to give them credit for coming, but at the same time, like, we sent at least double, if not triple, the amount of fans on a rainy like Wednesday night during the Cup. So try to give them credit, but at the same time, very tough. Obviously, tough the way their organization treats them. I mean, the fact that they couldn't even send a staff member with them just kind of shows how the Hartford Athletic organization treats their kind of fans and the entire project. But overall, not something that we have to care about in this podcast, say that much. But yeah, really fun being in the lot. Obviously with the rain, I think it not to put pun not intended, but it kind of dampened the mood a little bit. I think they're definitely, I know of a ton of us had additional people that we were all going to bring. Like I had multiple people that were going to come with me that didn't come. I know Timmy did. I know a bunch of people did. So kind of sucks. Obviously sucks for the team. They've had horrific weather luck this year. But again, just a night for the sickos out there. And I think the sickos really took care of business.
No, absolutely. Just a really, really good time walking in. Getting there, it was a bus trip in yesterday. There was no march. We took the bus in. We were able to secure Koke bobbleheads. So let's talk the bobblehead, Ryan. How did the team do? How we looking? We got Koke here.
Yep, so Koke joined ship on my backdrop here.
There's a lot of stringy glue coming out of mine.
That was the one.
Was that from all the wanking?
It might be. It is coming out of his wrist. But yeah, that was definitely the two things that were surprising to me was one, the fact that the wrists move. I thought that was very confusing. My head doesn't really move. So it's not. Oh my God.
I lost the scarf.
This is what happens when you're in a temporary studio.
I came in quick and just like painter's tape shit up. So I doubt the jersey will last the whole time, but we'll see.
I mean, number one, shout out to Amos for the jersey.
What a guy! What
unbelievable. A guy. I mean, if anything, you can say about Amos, what a guy. But yeah, the bobble doesn't bobble. That is my one critique of my bobblehead.
So when Graham brought his Zach had baseball this morning, and then we went out and about in Bristol. We hit up Pivotal Brewing, got pizza at Brick, watched the World Cup at Pivotal, and Graham opened his up, and one of his wrists does not move. So I would assume this stringy gel substance is the cause for all that, and maybe because of all the wanking. I don't know. Listen,
we can't confirm if Koke was a part of that. But yeah, no, overall, very fun. I know it was like, I think the hottest item, the amount of people who were nervous about not getting it. I hope everyone was able to get their bobblehead. It seemed like they had plenty for the amount of people who were there. And yeah, it's great. I have a very fun video of my son cracking up when I showed it to him, which was great. My head doesn't bobble. Guys, very fun fact. My nickname growing up was Bobblehead for a little bit because when I ran, it would like go like this. So fun fact.
I love it. Yeah. Ryan's French. So let's rate this thing. Let's give it a Timmy Sclafani player rating on detail, likeness, and all of that.
Well, we go on the Timmy scale because boy, oh boy.
I guess we'll do a standard FOT mob. How's that? Timmy scale. I don't think we are dialed in like that. But you got the captain armband on there.
Yep.
The kit is very good detail.
Yep.
The shorts maybe a little lacking. You even have the Rhode Island Energy on the back, of course, of the kit. You got the squares on the back of the socks. They did put a Nike swoosh on the cleat.
I was very impressed by that. I was like, is there going to be a cease and desist letter coming? I don't know about that, but
Koke usually wears pink boots, though. So I will say I think they did him a little dirty with the hair, especially the back fade. I think it looks more balding. Mine's got a little smear in the back. I don't know if you can get it in there, but the hair, the beard, and the eyebrows are probably the low point. This one actually, I'm sure they're all a little different, but it looks like he's got a little like buck teeth in there too. So if we're going FOT mob rating, I'm gonna go 5 out of 10.
What? Wow.
Slightly underwhelming.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm with Tyler. Tyler in the chat has that 7. I think 7.5. I think these things are hard to pull off in scale.
Yeah.
The box was actually very nice. I don't know if you saw the box. Oh, the poor boxes. Like, what a tough night to be cardboard.
And all the bags at the team shop were paper too. So like,
I generally, the team cannot catch a break, and then they have the legacy game at Central Bank Stadium today, and it's just perfect day out for it. I think Timmy was there. Yeah, listen, I don't
nailed it. Mine does kind of look like Jimmy Neutron.
It kind of does. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's very fun. I hope we see more of these. We have a couple players who I think have been here for a bit. That could be fun to have one. There is that new like dancing big blue bug that comes up after things that could be very fun. I think we did have actually a question last episode of like what would be the next bobblehead. A lot of good ideas. I hope the team kind of keeps it up because
there's a lot of JJ, Amos, the bug.
We got Chip over. Yep, we got Chip over here. Koke's back here now somewhere, if I can point right. So I would love to continue to add to my collection. I think it's very fun.
That's it. Good stuff. Getting in, we did get in earlier to attempt to secure said Koke bobblehead, and we made our way to the concourse behind 116, which was jam-packed, crowded, people sheltering from the heavy rain. It would stop, it would go, but did let up a little bit right at kickoff, which was pretty nice.
Yep.
You joined us down in the bucket. That was really good. Crispy says that's harsh. He wants to know how I rate blow-up dolls. Hey, everyone's different.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. But that's a really good one from Kentucky J too. I was on the bobblehead, Batcano.
Oh man, that's a really good one. If anyone from the team is listening, please run that up the chain. That'd be amazing.
Make it like a almost like a nightlight too, like electrify that bitch. Like,
ooh,
right?
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
All right, so let's not even talk about the game.
Team.
We're just gonna do merch ideas, giveaway ideas the rest of the night.
Call us team. Yep. But we hung out there for a bit, got down to the seats, and then an absolute electric atmosphere from the start, from Defiance, the whole bucket. Dolly Rody chant was loud early on. Chants were loud and steady, and it was just a really, really good atmosphere leading into this one.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell even when we were all kind of huddled under the overhang, like trying to just stay dry for as long as we could. Like the vibes were very like people are excited about the game. Like I think anyone who stared the rain in the face and the radar in the face and said, "Screw it, I'm gonna go anyway." Like they were up for it, and I loved the energy absolutely everyone brought. Like 116 was on fire all night. But even if you looked around the stadium, like by the end of the game, like you saw like shirtless children and people like all along. On the Irishman who joined us in 116, which was another.
There was a whole band of people in all black in the Riverside early. I don't know if that was the Irishman before they got shirtless, but there was a very coordinated applause going on.
So the Irishmen were apparently in like the club level, and Mrs. Poole was like, "I have a much better place for you all."
I love it. That's why she's the best.
Yes. But yeah, overall, like you could tell everyone who actually was like, "I'm coming out tonight," is like, "I'm gonna enjoy it." And it's kind of one of those things. Like Matt Jean kept saying it. It's like it's just water, and then the minute you start getting wet, it's like screw it. I'm like, there's nothing else you can do about it.
I can still hear him on the megaphone. It's just water, people. You don't need to leave your seats. Matt Jean was in a good one. We gave him a police costume ahead of time. Because he was on secret police of the bucket section. Great job to Matt. Great job to everyone too for observing the fan code of conduct while still heckling, still jeering players, officials, and doing it pretty well. I think we're getting really good at that without crossing the line.
Yes.
People will say we crossed the line. I know Matt Jean mentioned it earlier in the chat. Hartford was very upset that we had a train horn, claimed that was not allowed. I blasted that thing all night. Like I was on it. Matt was on it.
Chip was on it at the end of the game.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It was great. But it's also like, it's not the first time they've played against us. And that train horn has been there since Bryant.
Yeah.
So, these people are just fucking delusional. Every time we play them, every time there's an issue. Pawtucket J said my favorite W word in the chat. We will bring that up much later and talk about it at length. That chant was my favorite of the night. But these people just make up these bullshit excuses after everything, and it's like I said, it's nothing new. It's been going on for 3 years. We've had the year one. Yeah,
and just a reminder for everybody, like the only fans who have done something absolutely insane in a stadium is when their fan brought in like Roman candles and lit them off in the middle of a packed bleacher. So like I again, as you're saying, like hats off to everybody in 116 and everybody around the stadium. I thought RIFC fans were in a good spirit, but like very feisty, but also like very respectful in a way. Like overall, I thought like everyone did a really fantastic job. Like we heckled, but it didn't go over the line, as you said. Like I genuinely thought everyone did a fantastic job last night. So very, very good stuff. Like they can't because their whole thing, right? Like they're not good. Hartford, they're not good. They didn't show up on the pitch. And the only thing they could have taken away is if we did something stupid, and we did nothing stupid. So now they have nothing to take home on their shitty ass ride back to Hartford, Connecticut, and then they have to be in Hartford, Connecticut.
I'm glad the water bottle stayed in people's hands this time, for sure. And I'm glad the wanks and the chants only continued and got louder. We also had Cody Reed saying 3 Aussies in 116 as well. That was pretty cool too. We get people from all over, coming joining us. It's absolutely awesome. We had
people from all over Europe. We had people doing the row from Norway.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that now? I know we haven't even touched the lineup yet, but that was so fucking bad. It's so cringe. It's an MLS thing. Timmy wants to remind you that you said OnlyFans in your little spiel there. But the MLS is trying to do it. It looks awful. It looks stupid. I saw a really cool Instagram reel after they beat Norway, and it was, there'll be no more fucking rowing over there. So I started that chant with Dave Audette. So big shout out to Dave for joining in. We got the Irishman involved in that one too. But don't do that. If you're going to games at Tidewater, you're sitting in the bucket. Do not do the Norwegian row. and do not do the Mexican wave.
So-
Absolute no-nos. You will get this. You will get this. Stop it.
Here's my caveat to that. If we can produce a single member of like greater than 50% Norwegian descent to bang the drum, I will like think about it being allowed. But there was a point last night
not even that.
like,
We'd have to have like a Norwegian on the team for me to give it any kind of consideration.
Okay. Yeah, no, I listen, I'm not here to police people. Like, if you want to have, like, we're having fun, but I also it was not, I don't know. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. The wave, not for me at all.
With Quadros, ban the wave, ban the row, chant, wank, have fun, be merry. That's it. Message from Defiant 1636, Vice President Matt Jean too. He wanted to thank everyone for being on their best behavior. He says, a huge thank for making my night easy, and we got a good report back after the game. So very good stuff. We love it. Very, very good. The Norwegian row is the wave 2.0. I think we'll sum that up. But let's shift gears a little bit now. We'll get into the game and talk a little about this one. All vibes tonight. Starting 11, Koke Vegas, Hugo Baccarat, Grant Stillman, Leo Alfonso, JJ Williams, Pity Rodriguez, Frank Nodarce, Jose Quazera, Nick Scardina, Karifa Yao, and Amos Shapiro Thompson. Pretty strong 11, Ryan. Pretty expected. I think I guess Aldair being back out was the one I was like, oh, that's interesting. In, out, you know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my big takeaway at looking at this is I think I might downgrade my Koke bobblehead rating to maybe like a 6.5, because I'm staring at Koke and, you know, there may be some room for improvement there. But yeah, I think the real only see, mine doesn't bobble. I can't even do this to you.
You just get the straight wrist.
Yeah.
There it is.
my only the poor podcast people, this one. I would say the only thing that I think was like a debate going into it is like, you know, the kind of attacking midfielder position and the left wing are kind of the ones that have been a bit rotational at this point, but we did see Pity and Leo Alfonso come back in. And to your point, we have really seen Frank like you know, kind of take a bit of a commanding role on that left back spot, pushing someone who we've been very complimentary of Aldair Sanchez onto the bench. So, you know, to be clear, Frank's playing very well there, so I understand what's going on. But yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good for the team to have people fighting for places versus kind of what's going on in the midfield right now, where it's like survive at this point. So, but overall, like you said, very strong 11 and felt very confident heading into this one.
For sure. I'm usually very excited to see Koke in front of us in the first half, as I know that RIFC will be attacking us in the second half. And I was even more excited last night knowing who would be joining us in the second half. And I believe Matt Jean said that Koke, like, you know, very much gave a nod to that of like, have fun with that. You know, not his words at all, but kind of the messaging of like, yep, we know you're gonna enjoy having Siaha there in the second half. So I was in love. We talk about it all the time. We don't know the coin flip strategy, the results, even what it looks like, but seeing Koke walk towards us for that first 45. I knew we were in for a good one.
I mean, it's one of those things where it seems as though the team has got on board with the strategy that we complained about at the beginning of last year of like, they should always be kicking at Defiance in the second half. To as much as they can do, it seems as though they did that, which was fantastic. And my whole thing I kept saying in my head is like, we need to score. We need to be up going into the halftime. Like it's a lot like more frustrating because then he can kind of play into it more if they are if it's a tie game or they're leading. Like we want to go in second half on top so that we can really be more of a fun atmosphere there.
For sure. And I will say when we check final stats, usually with your recipe for success, that seems to be one of the heavier weighted components. If we concede first, usually that translates into the loss. So I love your rationale there.
I was unfortunately berating people with just like shitty information like that all night, being like, yeah, we got to score first. Else what's the point of even being here? And it's like, wow, what a fun guy to have at parties.
That's it. Like Ryan came to 116 and immediately was like, oh, brought it down. But early on, I think it was a very, very strong showing from RFC. We were all over them. Field was tilted beyond belief when you're in 116. Tough to see in that first half because of how much the ball spent down there. corner kicks galore early on,
Yep.
and just a ton of sustained possession and pretty dangerous possession in and around the Hartford box.
Yeah, it was one of those games where like the longer it went on, you just kind of like you almost start feeling uneasy that we didn't score because of how much like again the ball like we barely saw anything that first half because it was so far up the pitch. But we just kept it was corner after corner after corner, and it was like, man, we really need to capitalize here because if we don't, I'm gonna start getting a little bit antsy, a little bit nervous about this game.
Mm-hmm. Andrew Milko, I had to pull this up now. I know we're gonna have the wanker talk a little later in this one, but my 12-year-old asked, "What's a wanker?" I said it's British and complicated, and we shouldn't say it at school, but Siaha is one. That's the episode title right there.
I'm not prepared to be. I'm not prepared to have a 12-year-old.
While we have that, before we get to the goal, Ryan, can you talk about the Instagram story views?
All right, fuck it. Yeah, sorry to the Peterson children. Yeah, so there was a USL championship post where they were talking about like emojis they want made, and one of them, I didn't even look at the post. I just saw that Hartford was in the chat saying that they want a Anthony Siaha emoji. And boy, oh boy, was that like red meat to to a lion.
Especially after a couple of beverages.
I did have a couple. My wife and I had our first date night since the baby ahead of time. Shout out to Persimmon, the fucking best restaurant. But yeah, so I was just in there and I saw our pal Scott from the UK kind of made a little comment, and I decided to just lay out some facts about what Anthony Siaha has done in this league. You know, wanking on national television at a player, calling a baby ugly, again, all of this after a draw, potentially allegedly pushing a mascot and giving them a concussion, things that he's done. Then the fact that, Hartford Athletic continued to boost him up as a role model in this
allegedly
league.
Also training with Red Bull 2 and getting in a fight there. Is that another onion layer?
Allegedly. So, someone who I wouldn't say is a role model in this league and someone who I would not be continuously pushing up. Also, again, wasn't really disciplined as far as any of us are aware because he played that next Saturday at, again, Tidewater Stadium. So, allegedly, but someone who, again, I don't find to be someone who I want my child to think of as a role model. Unlike the guy on the screen here.
Someone who I would say definitely a wanker. So credit to Andrew Milko. That is great fucking parenting, my guy.
Yeah. It's like, to be clear, that is definitely a wanker, but we don't say that word.
That's it. Not in school. You can say it outside of school because Graham definitely yelled it later, and we'll see video evidence of that as we go. But early domination for RIFC. The corners were really starting to pile up, and luckily we saw.
Wait, sorry, I never got to the end of the story.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
I totally forgot the whole point of the story. So then I checked who was looking at my Instagram story the next day, and guess who was? And to be clear, I never tagged this person in the post. Anthony Siaha was looking at my Instagram stories all day on Saturday. So we're definitely not in his head. He's definitely not worried about it. He's definitely very comfortable with his standing in the world, and definitely someone who is a stable, rational human being.
Yep, and Sean Buxton wants to know, are we talking about the guy who made a lewd gesture in front of children? Yes, Mr. Buxton.
Yeah.
We're talking about that very individual.
He did that, and he called a couple-month-old infant ugly. Could you imagine doing that? Like, as someone who now has a couple-month-old infant, could you imagine doing that?
And then assaulted Chip.
Then allegedly assaulted Chip. So that's a whole nother, much bigger, quite frankly, problem. No offense to the Welches. I would not like my baby to be called ugly, but let's fucking leave Chip alone.
I will give the Welches a big shout out, and this came courtesy of Matt Jean, this little bit of intel, but they got to be at field level last night for the end of the game with Anthony in goal to present the man of the match paddle, and got to deliver a year's worth of shit talking to him at field level. So hopefully that was like a free therapy session.
I mean, and I have to give the Welches credit because I know they can deliver on that too. I've heard them in action, and they are elite at it. So
it's good stuff. All right, so Siaha in the views. Maybe he's watching tonight. Hello, Anthony. Hope you're watching. Hope you have a terrible day tomorrow.
Yep.
Fears for his safety in Rhode Island.
Please like and subscribe as well, Anthony.
Yeah, hit that like button. I forgot to bring my my thumbs up award, but there you go. Smash that like button if you have not already. So again, the corner kicks are really starting to pile up early in this one, and luckily we saw RFC not waste one of those early chances with this goal in the 20th minute.
from Siaha, protecting his near post.
Rain is really coming down here in Rhode Island. In by Quizera, touched in by Nodarse. Rhode Island have knocked away on Hartford's door. They finally bust it down to take a 1-0 lead in the derby. Frank Nodarse with the...
He asked the questions earlier. This time, there is no denying him. And Quizera involved once again in everything that Rhode Island are doing well here this evening. No one picking up the Cuban center back.
Matt Hans loves that line right there. Good hearing Sean St. Jacques again in there. I don't know who that other guy was. Not quite on Sean's level. But it was really cool seeing all of the players and how happy they were for Frank with this one. Also, it started to absolutely downpour right before this corner. And I don't know if I said to you or if I said to Matt, like somebody I was standing next to, I was like, this one's going in because it's really fucking raining right now. And I think that's a very interesting ball in from Quizera. It's very different to the back post play that we've seen a lot lately. There's definitely a concerted effort with the run there to the front post. You see Frank and Hugo crashing. Frank's the first, Hugo's behind him, and it's a really good ball in just at the edge of the 6. And Frank does the rest and slots it home.
Yeah, I mean, big shout out to JJ. I mean, after I went to the press conference last night, I was very sober in 116, which is probably why I was telling people shitty facts the entire time versus having just way more fun. But yeah, I went to the press conference after and talked to JJ a bit about kind of Frank and the fact that they're close and not to skip ahead to the end, but we did see that Frank was awarded the man of the match, which actually was voted on by his teammates, not by Defiance in this one. And you could just see how happy they all were for Frank. He's someone who has been with us now. This is year 3. It's great to see him get on the kind of goals here. Also asked Kano a bit about kind of goal corner kicks here. And he was saying, he's like, yeah, this was a clear big problem for us. We have a lot of very tall guys who should be scoring a lot more goals here. I don't think this is the way you necessarily would assume Frank is going to score on a corner. It was really athletic, very very Big J humble brag there, but
yeah, I'm still with you. I just want to make you feel special.
Oh, thanks, guys. But yeah, kind of saying this was a problem for us last year. We've really done a much better job this year, and a big part of that is I think the nice thing about having corners as a dangerous part of your game is we've seen so far this year. It's actually not just done well for winning games, but getting that first goal is very important. Kind of getting back from that deadlock, and the fact that we've seen time and time again this year us be able to kind of break a game open with a corner, even if maybe open play isn't working perfectly for us, or we're kind of getting a little frustrated there. We actually we have another weapon to open the game up and then bring them out of their shell, because we all know that Hartford didn't want to play last night. That first half, there was only one team who actually came out trying to play offense, and it was RIFC.
They are a pretty pathetic attacking team. It's this whole weird USL championship tiebreaker type thing, because on FOTMOB we're still behind them. We're level on points, have a better goal differential. It's I fucking hate the way the USL does shit. They need. It is very funny
that FOTMOB would have to change how
every other league
works.
Yes, yeah,
they'd have to put a special variable in for USL to make the tiebreakers work, because you're totally right.
Right, but where I was going with that was it was a meaningful game as far as table positioning. Yep. You're looking at the team directly below you. Us, we're looking at the team directly above us, and it's a chance to either grow the gap if you're Hartford or catch up if you're RIFC. So don't understand why they couldn't throw any kind of remnant of attack forward at this one. They had one moment where JJ busted his ass back in the 34th minute, which RFC shared all over the socials as their energy play of the game, I believe it was. Made a great run to, kind of disrupt stuff. But this Hartford team had no inkling about going towards this one.
Yeah, I just want to be super crystal clear here. We are I think we are a significantly better team here. And I know we have talked recently about
are we good?
What's that?
Are we good?
Are we good? Yeah, no, but I think we're having a bit of trouble, because we clearly are a talented team. We definitely have, I think, improved over last year in a lot of ways. But right now, we've been sitting towards the bottom of the table, and it's a really hard team to kind of figure out where is our actual position in the table if you were to rank teams by talent. But at the same time, talent, they don't give you points for talent. They give you points for wins. And I just think one thing that's been frustrating, and why I think this is a great like thing to bring up is like we were below them in the table, and you watch that game and you go, this like RIFC should be so much higher in the table. And I think that's where we get really frustrated with this team. Like why the fact that we haven't been picking up wins, we've been dropping points, we've been and again at the press conference, Kano was talking about how like both in Sacramento and Orange County, like we dropped points, like we should have managed the games better in both of those, which we saw the team do a lot better job last night to actually, pick up the points that we deserved here. So, that's why it gets really frustrating when we start we'll criticize the team a bit when they're not picking up these points. Everyone's like, oh, you always want them to win. Like, number one, yes, but number two, like this is a team that should be significantly higher up the standings right now, and the only way to do that is to actually win.
Yeah, for sure. We're fans first, for the fans, by the fans. Tide Talk, you heard it. We want the team to win, but we also are going to be critical when they're not. And I know we know from experience doing this that players will listen to this, staff will llisten to this, the league broadcasters will listen to this. So, if enough people are talking about a team and what's going on, like change will be made, change will be implemented, and that's. We don't think we have that much pull, but we do think we are able to, kind of at least start some discussions amongst the fan base. And, I think that's, why we do this. That's why people tune in. And tune in for your free chicken tomorrow at Chick-fil-A Attleboro. Ryan, is this a further Big Chicken implication here? Not a lot of people in those rainy seats at Tidewater. Just saying.
So here's the kind of quirk here that I am wondering. So the whole promotion is you need to have had a ticket to this game.
True, which they said it was a very close to a sellout.
Yeah. So there is a lot of people who potentially could get a free chicken. And I would listen, is it better if you were there? Yeah, but you should get your free chicken if you have a ticket to this game.
That's it. You're just going to show the app. Half the time they don't even look. So
yeah, listen, I think this might have been a big error in judgment by Big Chicken to allow this goal to go in, because they probably were looking at the stands being like, oh, it's a little lighter. They didn't know how many tickets were out there. And boy, oh boy, it would be a shame if they were an avalanche of chicken sandwiches being claimed tomorrow night.
Yeah, Pawtucket Jace's Big Chicken weather modification. You got to check the fine print. It's got to be something in there.
I'm sure. Listen, if someone's out there that can go deep on this, please, because we always need to cross our T's and dot our I's here. We saw me even a couple episodes being a little bit lax with my, keeping my eye on Big Chicken. So please, if someone's out there and they can read the fine print, making sure there's no, maybe they'll check your shoes, make sure they're still wet. I don't know. We don't know.
Matt Jean saying if you are a season ticket member, you can also get your free chicken tomorrow at the open practice. So keep that in mind as well. And Sean Buxton says people online want Kano out, but should we really want Big Chicken out? No, I think right now we're reaping the benefits of Big Chicken.
Yeah, I mean, the team, I would say we have to give the team a big credit because they are persevering through what Big Chicken's trying to do. So shout out to Kano. He's given a lot of credit to Dave McKay, especially for the attacking set pieces. So shout out to Dave specifically for getting us some free chicken sandwiches.
No vegetarian, I bet. Good stuff. But first half stats for this one, RIFC outpossessed Hartford 54-46%. We outshot those clowns 14-2, 6 on target to 0. 2 big chances, Matt Hands for RIFC, 0 for Hartford, 77% passing accuracy to 76. 10 fouls to 4, and 7 corners in that first half to 4. Ryan, my biggest takeaway from this first half was, wow, that was a belt-to-ass 45 minutes, but holy shit. And why do you have it as 1-1?
I don't know, yeah.
Holy shit, why are we only up 1-0?
That was my biggest concern as well, was the fact that we were only up 1-0, because it was definitely one that I felt like we should have been at least 2, if not 3 up. So thank you. Live Canva updates. So I was very concerned at halftime because it felt like I kind of kept saying like we need to score the next goal, because I don't want this being 1-1 and then Siaha can start doing his shit and like that. And also Hartford as a, like, we focus on Siaha, like this team is very much they're kind of they're very reminiscent of his, like the way he approaches the game of like, I'm just here to wind up. I'm just here to not actually like use talent to win games. I'm here to like wind up and draw people into games versus like play the sport in a like in a good looking way. So I was a little worried that we were leaving ourselves open to Hartford's antics because we have our kind of scorecards here. Like we were giving them the Hartford Dive Club score. You see here, 10 fouls to their 4. Like they were clearly getting the referee on board. One of their center backs, I think he was actually their captain, number 4, Scarlett, I think his name is. Boy, oh boy, was that dude. He spent more time on the rain-soaked grass of Central Bank Stadium than I don't have a second half of this analogy, but he was just always down, looking for calls, really trying to bait JJ into stuff, which was really annoying. So it just, again, a team of very similar players who all are there not to actually try to play and score and do things. They're there to bait their opponent into doing stupid stuff. So just a really pathetic institution again, and they wouldn't even bring their fans who traveled hours chicken fingers, which I think is despicable.
Just as much as we criticize the players, Sean Buxton 1-1.
Guys, I'm sorry. I was watching the World Cup while I was putting
Crispy,
Guys,
4.
I'm sorry.
And then we did get a thanks, but live editing, we got you.
I'm sorry.
We make in-game adjustments here at Tide Talk. Sometimes our RIFC does not, so we'll be good there.
Not tonight for that.
No, we're not going to be super critical tonight. But second half rolls around. I had to go get Graham a dry T-shirt because he was absolutely soaked. Refused to wear the raincoats. Bought the Vamos Rhode Island shirt, the Frog and Toad shirt in the store. Very nice. It's a comfort color shirt. My favorite brand, Ryan. Very soft, very nice.
Shout out to Providence Brewing for their comfort color RIFC fan club shirt that I wear.
Yeah, it's just really good stuff. Pawtucket Jay wants you to know that my head bobbles better than yours,
brother. He's got no competition on that one. I'll tell you that much.
So getting back in, you see Siaha come down, and we are on him from the get. Absolute greatness, absolute good stuff. Started out, but boy, oh boy. I said I wasn't going to be too negative, but this second half sucked.
It was awful.
It was so tough to watch. I felt like I was watching England versus Argentina again. We had the lead, and let's just sit back. The field tilt went exactly the other way. It was just, I think the second 45 was a really tough watch. And for the most part, the weather was not as bad as that first 45. The rain was probably more consistent, but a lot lighter than those heavy pockets we had in the first 45. But man, Matt Jean says, and we'll start with this, that's 3 games against Hartford, 3 clean sheets, Quadros, 3 derbies, 3 washouts, 3 clean sheets, 3 W's. So like those are the positives, but Sarah says it was so bad. And Matt Jean wants us to let you know, and you can go follow him. It's Matt Jean 36ers, or Matt, you can type the actual one in his Instagram. He'll be posting the welcome he got from the bucket later this week on his socials. So be ready for that. But damn, Ryan, that second half, I don't think we need to talk specific individual moments, just kind of the whole, I think we're going to weather this storm and see this one out 1-0.
Yeah.
The shit out of me.
Yeah, I mean, again, kind of talked a bit about game management. I guess the team really preaches to halftime, but yeah, I don't think to your point, like the field was completely the opposite way. Like I did think it was much more 50-50 for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they were some dominant force. Like the thing with them is like they don't want the ball, as someone have said, like they're not good enough to punish you with it. So yeah, I wasn't, my biggest thing was I'm just like, we're one freak skip of a ball on the wet turf away from this being really annoying. And I just was praying, like I both was like hoping the clock just started doubling up on how fast it was going, and also just get a second goal, like however you need to do it, like get a second goal. We had a couple nearly moments, not nearly, but like kind of half moments. Like there's a couple that were like JJ was around, once Noah came on, him and JJ were connecting well. Layout had a couple moments throughout the game where like I think he had enough where he probably should have got one. At least he had that open goal really early in the first half after Siaha gifted the ball to JJ. But there was just like enough that we really should have probably scored 2 goals in this game. And the fact that we never were able to turn it. I mean, we're going to look, this is the halftime stats. We had 14 shots with 6 on target. I think we ended up with like 22, but I think we only ended up with 6 on target still. Yeah, we had 7 on target. So 21 with 7 on target. So I really am getting concerned a bit with our inability to really make keepers work. We've seen this happen, and again, we ended up with like a pretty high XG in this one, but I don't know. I am a little concerned about our ability to convert and our ability to make the keeper work the kind of shot, because people are putting them in row Z at this point. Like there's a couple, especially it's like we actually last week we saw Pity kind of guide, like it was kind of a wacky one, but he kind of passed into the net. I'm like, guys, more of that. Like more, like you're probably going to beat keepers a lot more with like a chance like that versus, trying to put your foot like through it in a half and it ends up like over 116 into the ice cream stand. Like that's not helping. And I really think that's something we desperately need to improve upon in the second half of this year. Yeah,
I'm with Matt Hands and you as well. I felt the same way as Ryan. I was getting nervous towards the end that Hartford would get some BS scrappy goal and ruin everything we did. Yep. It was very much like, it felt like we were by far the better team, but we potentially didn't do enough, to win this one. And we were, like you said, it could have been a freak bounce, freak skip away. There was one ball that somebody tried playing out wide to, I think it was Scardina, that absolutely just died on the turf. Like, so that could have led to a counter, that could have led to whatever, so like those freak things happen and, could have gotten them goal. While Ryan edits the Leo min of the match here,
it was Frank.
Yeah, I'll take you through the full-time stats. RIFC with a 2.01 XG to 0.62 from Hartford. Possession was an even 50-50%. We outshot them 21-6, 7 of the shots on target, 0 shots on target for Hartford. RIFC created 2 big chances to Hartford's 1. 74% passing accuracy for both teams, 47% tackles won for RAFC, 59% for Hartford, and 16 fouls to 8, 9 corners to 2. RAFC scoring first, and Frank Nodarse, your mob man of the match with an 8.4 rating and the 1 goal, also earning him the not defiant 1636 player of the match, but the players chosen player of the match. Really cool to see. Definitely watched him tell Flanny, I don't want to speak. English is not Frank's first language, but Flanny put him on the spot. And I think Frank spoke really well after this one, talked about how much they wanted it and, talked about his guys, and it was just good stuff. So good seeing Frank get on the board there, and even better seeing RAFC win, shushing Anthony Siaha, wanking at him, hitting him with the 2-finger salute. What a fun night that was.
Well, Matt, I mean, should we just move to the next? We have, this might be a little out of order. Actually, let me just move the thing up. All right, if you go to the next slide, it is, I think, what our feelings are here.
Times for him trying to find any sort of real concrete time on the ball, let alone dialogue with Williams.
So the "he's a wanker" chant, absolutely awesome. Wanker, wanker, wanker. I love. So Dave Audette is in the amber kit to my left, and Graham and his son are between the two of us. And Graham's face lights up at one point of this. You can just see him tell Dave's son. You can see him say wanker. So keep an eye in this section here when Dave comes back. There's little Graham. Wanker. Wanker. Love it. They're the shirtless Irishmen. Look at the smiles. Look at the smiles on people's faces in the section there. We gave him absolute hell. And he was turning back too. That was my favorite part. He turned back. He was almost trying to embrace it and like be above
he gave
it.
a little heart thing at first at one point. Like that's kind of really why I was like, we need to score in the first half, because I can't have him coming down and like playing into it and like feeling like he won after the game. Like I needed him truly feeling like he lost. And I have to say a massive shout out to the RIFC social media team. They posted a very funny video of an alternate angle of Frank's goal where he kind of like almost flinches at the ball going past him, and they zoom in on his face, and boy, oh boy, am I probably going to save that, because I absolutely loved it. Shout out to the admin.
Shout out to everyone in the chant. Sarah says you could hear the wanker chant all
it
over
was
the stadium.
So loud.
It reminded me of Ted Lasso, like when I think it was Ted's first match when he got the wanker chant. It was just elite. It was lovely.
And listen, it's a factual statement. He literally did it on national television. So like you can't even be like, oh, why are you calling him that? Like it's his fault. He did it on national television. My dad saw it. He texted me going, what's going on with this game?
You said that you have video proof of me wanking, and there is not video proof in that clip. So I will say this might have ended right before the Jumbotron picked things up, and you might have seen things differently. Can neither confirm nor deny that. Joe in the car says, pure game face, Matt. Thank you. I love it. And Andrew Quadros sums this one up perfectly. He'd be grabbing his nuts celebrating if they had the match.
I was dreading it. Like, truly, the longer this game went on, I was dreading that because I could feel that moment coming.
And Matt Jean says, I love when the chant stopped and I would tell him on the megaphone, in case you couldn't hear Anthony, they're calling you a wanker.
Tibet, it was an elite performance from Matt Jean on the megaphone. Some very funny moments. I remember him saying, he just kept saying, Augie, we have a question for you. Augie, we have a question. It was so good. I would say it's just, again, a night that, like, if you can ever experience a derby in the bucket or in the away end in Hartford, it is the best time. You're with the best people. Like, it's just so fun.
The best of the hooligans come out on derby night. Like, yes. It's absolutely awesome.
Quite frankly, like, Hartford doesn't even deserve this because there's such a lack of, like, rivalry there on their end that it's, like, almost annoying how hard we bring it for them to try to really make this a great rivalry. But I just shout out to the Sickos, shout out to the Bucket, shout out to Defiance. It was such a fun night.
Yep, we've got people checking in, hearing it all over. We also, it wasn't quite Guido, but last night's match official, Gerald, did get some chance and got some, you got the flip charts and all of that. So, I always say to people right after, like, one or two bad calls, I let them know the match official's name.
You had it so quick.
Whenever it popped up as Gerald, I was very happy because I was like, damn, that's a cool one to troll on. And, like Tyler says, especially in the rain. It's always better in the rain. Matt Jean also follows up with, Augie flipped me off when I told him we can hook it out. You should report that. You should report that, Matt Jean. I'm sure Siaha would have.
It's so, I don't know.
Anthony, if you're watching, send this to Augie. Send this to you. Have it all, brother. Have it all.
Unbelievable. What a night. I'm so happy we won.
That's it. Matt Jean might feel threatened. Like I said, report it, Matt. Report it. We'll switch gears a little bit and we will share your thoughts. We'll start in the Defiant 1636 Discord. And one thing I got to say is, like, in thinking about reading my post, holy shit, getting out of that match last night was tough. The traffic was insane. I sat on that bus for quite some time. Didn't even do Autograph Alley because it was raining again. It showed heavy rain coming again. But I would love earlier starts, man. This 7:30, getting home at almost 11 o'clock with kids after taking the bus, it's for the birds. It sucks. Like,
I have to say, I'm just gonna keep saying I did the press conference last night, but, like,
Big J.
Big J. Shout out to Koke. He was still out there. Like, at probably a half hour later, he was out there. Clay was out there. Which was great to see him. So a couple of guys are still hanging around, signing autographs. I saw like the Defiance was, like, really partying with Koke, which was very funny. But great stuff.
Yep. So we'll go to the Defiant 1636 Discord, read through. We have one of our few and far between good, better, best only option for this one. So we'll start with Sarah.
Don't you dare try to sneak an ugly in tonight.
No, Sarah had good seeing all the wrist exercises on the Jumbotron. I don't know what you're talking about, Sarah. Better jumping the Hartford Dive Club in the standings. Best hearing you're a wanker through the whole stadium. Then you could add the caveat of Milko having to explain that to its kid. It's just lovely.
If someone in the chat who is in other parts of the stadium, did the chant, not just could you hear it, did anyone else participate? That is what I have.
That's a good question. Sarah went bold here. RIFC in 4. We'll allow it. It was Shush Us Now, bitch. Anthony, hope you're watching. And her RIFC in 3 was What You Wanking At. Chelsea had good. We got free chicken. Let's flip and go. Better the atmosphere in the whole stadium and tailgate. Not just in 116, but 116 was a big part of it. Best no rain, no party. RIFC in 3. Rotten clams be gone. Matt Jean responded with the emoji. Matt Jean's riptide
for the podcast, it was the shush emoji.
Oh yeah, sorry. You're much better at that than I am. You are like instant subtitles. We got both of our post-match blogs out. Check out the Ripside Report and Timmy's player ratings on the all new and improved TideTalkRI.com. Timmy's good was more free chicken. better dominant first half performance, best 3 Derby wins in 2026. Yes, I count the US Cup shootout as a win, as you should.
Yeah,
RIFC in 3, an unworthy rival. Natesky's RIFC in 3, battle won today. His good was the win. Better was multiple corners to get free chicken. I was buying one before the goal happened, so I treated it like it was free. Hey, it's just a mindset. And his best was the bucket, Defiant 1636, and beating the team on the other side of the line to be playoff eligible, top 8, baby. Not quite yet, though. That's the weird part with this fucking USL standings. Good from Terrace was the crowd was ready. Boy, were they ever. Better free chicken sandwiches at Hartford's expense. Best beating those fuckers again and sending them home disappointed. RFC in 3, on to Pittsburgh. Scott from Wales, RFC in 3. I'm sorry, his good first was 3 points above Hartford with the game in hand. Better, Amos and Leo are on fire, inspiring. Best, this is the best performance I've seen in a while. The lads are really fighting for it. I'll give you the first 45, Scott, but the second 45 we're going to talk about. RFC in 3, shh, can't hear shit. We've got Andrew Milko's good, great atmosphere, figurative, even in a terrible atmosphere, literal. Better, a clean sheet on Koke bobblehead night. Best 3 hard-fought points against those dorks from Hartford. RAFC in 3, go wank yourself. A PG version, Siaha clams up. Why is he so fucking good at these, man?
I told him we weren't going to even read the PG version, but I mean, the fact that he nailed 2 of them.
Yeah, we gotta get.
Also, shout out to Andrew Milko. I saw him on Friday down in Wickford. It was lovely seeing him.
Always good stuff. Joe Burns, RAFC in 3, Haiku 2.0. Great win tonight, boys. Way to close this one out, Bam. Fuck you, Siaha. Look at who knew Joe Burns was a poet laureate. That's fucking awesome. Absolutely love that. That just made my night. Wow. Really, really good stuff. Thank you to everyone who wrote in on the Defiance Discord. I took to Twitter last night, and Ryan used the community pizza gif with reading my Twitter this morning on Tide Talk.
I was like, why do I have all these Tide Talk notifications?
There's some Hartford goon on Twitter, Football God 1019. I asked him how he was doing. He had a very explicit answer about my mother, so I won't read that. But he tries to troll us after everything that's not Hartford versus RAFC related, and couldn't take a little bit of actual good banter and talking about what's going on. So thank you to everyone who wrote in on all of those. Let's see, my Facebook is just locked up on me, so I don't have the Facebook comments in there. Ryan, I don't know if you can pull it up. Our videos keep getting flagged on Facebook, and now it just said we suspended your account.
We're suspended? Oh god.
No, my personal one that's attached to it too. So I don't even know if Tide Talk will be up. So I guess while we say that, make sure you subscribe to YouTube, as Facebook might not be a streaming option anymore.
I do have one from Facebook, and that is from Chris Peterson with Rain Melts Siaha.
Love it. Love it. Thank you to everyone who wrote in. If you would like to share your information, share your takes, make sure you do it. Look for those post-match posts. You can find us in the Defiant 1636 Discord on the Tide Talk channel, or you can find us on all of our social media accounts. So, Ryan, we kind of skipped around a bit. We had an in focus, but it was basically the video of the fans. Big Chicken could be censoring us. That could be the reality of this.
I mean, it only takes a couple of flags to do it. So, I would say they are probably feeling very insecure at this point about this whole thing. So I wouldn't be shocked to see if they were doing that.
So I might no longer be on Facebook, which is fine. We'll make it work.
We had some people saying that they had to switch from, they had to switch from Facebook to YouTube because the stream wasn't available. YouTube's more fun. The comment section is.
If you had to make that switch, I got a thing in the middle of the stream that my Facebook had been banned or something like that for sharing something we shouldn't. Even though every time they do this, I appeal and say USL grants everyone the right to share shit, and that's what we do. We don't share anything other than that. So everything we share, we actually have permission for, but. I don't know. Facebook doesn't like that. Somebody, if you know Zuck, call him up. let them know. But yeah, any other big talking points from the game you wanted to get off your chest, Ryan?
No, I mean, just it's good to get a Derby win. I think this has been we said earlier, kind of a weird season with the team. Like, again, I think we have a lot of talent on the team. I don't think we played to our expectations so far. Had a couple of very notable losses, a couple of good wins. So it's been a bit up and down. And this is kind of the part of the season where the team needs to kind of really lock in and really start to climb those standings. So it's great to get a win on the board so that we can keep doing that. And I think it's kind of strange to have to say, like, this actually was only the first league game against Hartford this year. We've already played them twice. Neither of those games are in the league. So we still do have the return leg of this in the USL Championship. So that's huge. But just like, looking at the table and seeing what's going on, like the table is very weird right now because a lot of the teams, like, games played is all over the place. We have a couple games in hand on a couple people. So this is really the time where if we can kind of lock in and really start picking up a series of 3 points, we can really see the team kind of climb the table and start to cement themselves, not just in the playoffs, which is what we obviously have as like the minimum goal here, but really start knocking on the door of Matt Jean's home playoff game, which quite frankly, at this point, we have had a team talented enough to have a home playoff game at this point. And it's about time we actually pay off on that because both the fans deserve it, the players deserve it. Like, they deserve to see what Defiance and what Rhode Island will show out for them for a home playoff game, and I'm super excited for that moment. So I hope they lock in and bring that this year.
All right. Next up, we have Pittsburgh on Saturday away. So enter your score predictions in the chat. Let us know how you think this one's going to play out. Pittsburgh won. They beat Louisville 3-1 last time out. A loss to Sporting Jacks 2-1. A 2-0 win over Loudoun, a 2-0 loss to Brooklyn, and a 0-0 draw versus Hartford. So as we head to Pittsburgh on Saturday, looking to be in pretty good position coming off a big win. It's also a chance for us to kind of climb a little bit further up the table and, get into a team that's in 5th place and close that gap to 1 point. So like you mentioned, potentially chasing in a home playoff game if results go our way, that could, see us fall just 1 point behind Pittsburgh if we were able to grab all 3 points on the road. So we've got Sarah with a 1-1 draw in the chat. Andrew Quadras has a 1-1 draw in the chat. Ryan, how confident are you feeling going into this one?
I don't feel it's kind of another similar team where, like, it's always a shitty game against them. Like, it's always a shitty game. But man, do we owe them one? Like, that game last in the Eastern Conference Finals was it's the one that really sticks with me probably the most of any RIFC game. Like, I fucking hated it. I hated everybody in Pittsburgh. Their fans, awful. Like, their stadium, awful. Like, everything about them except for that one guy, the guy on Twitter. Can't remember his name. That guy was cool, but everybody else, I absolutely freaking hated. I hate your club guy. That's what it is. Absolutely hated them. So I really, do I feel super confident? No. Like, it seems like a real 0-0, 1-1 game as we're seeing a lot in the chat. But man, I could see us. I would love to see us a 1-0, 2-0 win there, and I think we could do it. So I'm gonna go 1-0. I want us. I want us to pick up momentum, but I think we're seeing a team that I think is starting to understand their strengths really well. And I think if we can really lean into that, we can pull it off. And man, I would fucking love that. I would say if Chico scores and pulls his shirt over his head, I don't know if I'm going to laugh or if I'm going to be furious, but that'd be funny. But not funny. I'd be annoyed because obviously that ruins my 1-0 score prediction. So I'm going to go 1-0 at my score prediction. Let's go. Bring it home, boys. I'm rambling.
Joe in the house has the Sporting Jacks game was football terrorism, 2 hours I'll never get back. Ryan loves so this should be fun. This should be fun. Matt Jean says Bob Lilly is gone, so 2-1 RAFC. Pawtucket Jay's got a 1-0 RAFC. Tyler's got a 2-2. Joe has a 1-0. Quadros is Chico masterclass incoming, and by that I mean he fluffs all of his chances to score. I'm gonna go 1-0. I think we get this done. I also think you see Pittsburgh coming off the hangover of beating Louisville. Very much could be a thing, and I think RAFC get this, and the table is looking really interesting after this one with 3 more points.
Yeah, I just cannot reiterate more. Like, fellas, lock in. Like, the table is there to climb. Like, lock in. We got this.
That's it. Anything else before we head out, Ryan?
No, I just need to keep shouting out like Defiance, anyone who was at the match last night, like A+ job. The atmosphere was electric. Yeah, I really just love how everyone brought it, but like did it in a really positive way. And big shout out to the team for bringing a lot of energy to start the game, and then to obviously close it down. Even though I would have loved to see another goal or two. Shout out to the team, because I know again, being at the press conference here in the back, and you can kind of hear how the team was really celebrating and psyched up. And I'm gonna keep bringing it up because I have to tell everybody, but you could really hear the fucking like "let's go" like the players, that like meant a lot to them as well. So let's not let off the gas like with that big win. Like, let's keep the momentum going.
That's it. I love it. Just want to thank everyone who joined us tonight. If you haven't already, please smash that like button. Yeah, I didn't even want to pull that one. I'm sorry, Joe. But that'll wrap things up for this one. Remember, Tide Talk is more than just a podcast. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere you scroll for daily social media content. Click that link in this episode description to follow all of our accounts. I've been your host, Matt. For Ryan, thanks again for joining. We'll see you next time.
Hey, Matt,
as always,
sorry to ruin it. Big week though to follow us, right?
Big week, follow us. I said it in the opening.
I know. I just want to really reiterate it.
Big Tide Talk news coming. We're going to take a bite out of something major. It's absolutely awesome. You're going to want to hear the news, and we're going to share it this week. So make sure you're following. Make sure you're subscribed. Up the Tide.
Up the Tide.